Today we're asking the question, is Ricky Gutierrez a scammer? If you don't know who he is, then I'm not sure why you clicked on this video, but Ricky's a 23-year-old self-made millionaire who is a part-time day trader, and he sells a course for trading for $300. He has a huge following on YouTube and Instagram, and when you see all the pictures with all his cars and his own house, it looks like it might be too good to be true. So is he a scammer? Well, I've done a lot of research, and the short answer is
hell no! No!
But let's get into the facts. So this guy named Coffee Break 2 made a video exposing Ricky. We're going to analyze it and go over the facts so you can come to the conclusion yourself.
And yes, I'm saying he's lying. I know that seems kind of harsh because we don't have any direct evidence. And with Warren Buffett only making 20% a year, I feel like the odds are in my favor on this one. It's untrue. There is no consistent way to beat the market. And so any claims that Ricky's making that he has some consistent strategy is just false. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous, the claims that he's making. The average return of the S&P 500, an index fund, a great index fund, the average return is 9.8%.
So I'm a finance major in my 4th year of college, and I can right away tell you that the facts this guy is basing his arguments on are false. When I say he's ignorant, I mean he's uneducated about the financial markets, and it shows immediately. However, this doesn't instantly clear Ricky's name. It just means that Coffee Break 2 is wrong about his stock market facts. So let's go over the facts so you can be educated about the market yourself, and then we'll look into Ricky himself. Alright, so we're going to break down this dude's arguments in order and go over the facts one by one. First argument, you can't consistently beat the market. Here's the chart for the S&P 500. This is what people call the market. It is a giant index fund of 500 stocks across all sectors, and people use it as a benchmark to see what the overall market is doing. Whenever you hear someone say, oh, the market is up 10%, they're talking about the S&P's percentage gains. It averages about 10% a year, and because it's so big, people who are not educated in the market think that this is the best someone can do in trading. But as you can see from this 3-year chart, it gained 18.9% in 2017 and lost 5.13% in 2018. So the average of those is 6.9% gains in the last 2 years. So I'm going to show y'all why this is a tiny gain and a trader can beat this with ease. All you have to do is find a stock that moves more than 10% a year. This is Microsoft, a big company, a pretty safe company, not very volatile. Over 30% the first year and another 30% the second year. Same years that the market moved, 18% and then minus 5%. Amazon, even though it had a big sell-off, same year the market did 18%, Amazon did 52%, and then when the market lost 5%, it still did over 50%. So it's not hard. Tesla, this is a really choppy company, a lot of emotional swing trading, but still beat the market 50%, and then it closed 2018 up like 10%. So it's still way better than the market. Now, even though these companies are moving 50% a year, which is 5 times better than the S&P, Ricky is still able to do way more than that by day trading and swing trading. And this guy doesn't understand how day trading and swing trading works. I'll get into it a little bit later, but this is what he has to say about it.
Okay, so that's key. Ricky calls himself a conservative investor. And to be clear, 2% return daily is insanely aggressive. But 1% is a conservative estimate. That is bonkers.
All right, argument number 2, 1 to 2% day trading daily is crazy. So let's look at UGAZ. This is the stock that Ricky Gutierrez trades most recently. It is a natural gas ETN. It follows the price of natural gas, but it's 3 times more volatile. So we can just look the other day, this morning at 6:30 a.m., it had an upswing at over 2% and again over 1.5%. So you would buy, day trading, you would buy at the bottom and sell at the top and capitalize on that volatility. It's kind of hard to do it perfectly, so maybe you wouldn't get 3.5%, maybe you get 2.5%. But these waves you can ride every day, all day, and that's what day traders do. So to say that you can't get 10% in a year when you could get 3% in an hour is kind of stupid. You obviously don't know about day trading. You haven't even looked into day trading or what Ricky does. So just off that, I can tell this guy's arguments are not really based on much. It's just his feeling. He hasn't really done any research. However, just because a day trader could get 3% in an hour doesn't mean that Ricky Gutierrez does necessarily. But we're going to look into that too. Alright, just a little extra side piece here. This dude did some terrible math in some Excel spreadsheet he made on his own, and he calculated 1% for a $5,000 position. At the end of the year, you have $190,000. That's not true. First of all, there are only 250 trading days out of the year because weekends are closed and there are some national holidays that are closed too. And then beyond that, let's learn about something called the pattern day trading rule. So if you have under $25,000 in your account, you are legally limited to 3 trades in and out every 5 days, which is a trading week. So really, you can only trade 3 days out of a week. 3 times 52 is 156. You only get to trade 156 days out of the year. So when you do that math, you end up, if you traded perfectly, with an account that's a little over $23,000, not $190,000.
That is bonkers. If you could make 1% every day with even $5,000, every single hedge fund on Wall Street would be beating down your doors to try to find out your special sauce. Okay, that's just a fact.
Alright, so point number 3 that seems skeptical is the best hedge funds aren't getting 1 to 2% a day, and Warren Buffett, the richest man on Wall Street, isn't getting 1 to 2% a day. So how is this kid from his laptop at home getting 1 to 2% a day? And the problem here is that you can't really compare the two. And most people don't know the difference because they're uneducated, and that's fine. Nobody's born knowing everything. I didn't know this stuff until I learned it. So we're gonna go through and teach you the difference between a hedge fund and a day trader. First thing we're looking at is a graph that shows the average gains of the hedge fund industry. And you can see 2017, they barely got 9%, which is under the market. Sometimes they beat the market, sometimes they lose money, and sometimes they're under 5%. But these are the biggest funds in the world. Like, how are they not doing so well? And the reason they're not doing well is because they have so much money. Let's look at the top hedge funds in the world right now. Bridgewater Associates, $125 billion in management. AQR Capital, $90 billion. Renaissance Technologies, $57 billion. Two Sigma Investments, $37 billion. So these people don't need to get 1 to 2% a day because that would be hundreds of millions of dollars a day. Let's look at Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway. The total assets that he manages is over $200 billion. You can't make that grow 10% in one day consistently. And because of that, you might think that translates over to somebody who has $5,000, but that's not true. Think about it in this way. If you have $100, you can go buy art supplies, make a painting, and sell it for $2,000. And now you've just increased your investment by 20,000%. But if you have $1 billion, you can't buy 100 million canvases and make 100 million paintings and sell them all for $2,000. The thing about day trading is that it's not scalable. You can make maybe $1 to $5 million a year, but above that, your position size is too big to be able to make consistent trades. When you buy 50% of the shares in a company, you can't sell 50% of the shares the same day. It's not going to happen. There's not enough buyers. But anyway, let's get to argument 4, where we finally get to Ricky Gutierrez. Now, basically, at this point, you should know that all the math and all the stock market evidence that this guy based his arguments on is false. So there's a good chance that he's wrong about Ricky in general, but let's look at Ricky himself. If you look at his YouTube channel, you will find hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of free videos where not only does he talk about his gains and losses and how he did it, but also gives tips and tricks and lessons for free. All you have to do is just watch the videos. You'll probably learn almost as much as his course, but it's just less organized. And if you think Ricky is like one of those guys that pops up on all the ads on YouTube if you ever watch anything about finance and says, hey, buy my class, I'm rich, you want to be rich like me, don't you? Listen to how he talks about his course in one of his YouTube videos. He says this all the time.
Learn Plan Profit is our group where they get to watch me trade live every single day. We're the largest group out there for those who invest in the stock market. We have a full A to Z video lesson library, so if you've ever wanted to get started and learning more about the stock market and how it works, I would encourage you to first check out my videos on YouTube, see if you resonate well with that material.
See how he said, check out my free videos first, see if you resonate with it, see if this is valuable to you first, and then maybe consider it. That doesn't sound like a scam to me.
And if you do, be sure to click that second link in the description to learn a little bit more about that.
And finally, the last part, this dude, Coffee Break 2, is like calling Ricky a scammer because he does not post any of his brokerage statements, any profits, any losses. But that's actually false. All you have to do is scroll on his YouTube channel and you will see, oh, my $2,000 loss today, my $500 gain today, my $6,000 gain today. So let's watch this guy claim that there's no evidence while we watch the evidence roll.
That's absolutely wrong. He's never produced any brokerage statement that's proved that he's made the returns he says he's made. Where is the proof? Where is the proof? Where's the evidence? Where are the broker statements? He has yet to produce a broker statement, and the reason for that is because there are none. And by the way, the thing is that he's not backing these up with facts. Where are the broker statements? Where is the proof? It is a fraud.
So with that being said and done, I'm going to issue my own warning. Don't just listen to somebody because they said someone else is wrong that everyone used to think was right. Maybe everyone thinks he's right because he is right and you're just a hater.